Does Captain America Brave New World feature the same old MCU mistakes? Let's quickly dive into the latest Marvel movie to see if the franchise is back on track. This is our spoiler-free review, so if you want to get into all the details, subscribe to be notified when our deep dive arrives. The marketing for Cap 4 told us this film was going for Winter Soldier vibes. You may have mistaken this for Captain America Winter Soldier, as I did, but after watching the movie, I now see that they were going for an extended episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you haven't watched that series yet, you may want to catch some reviews online before you hit the theater. Otherwise, just pop a few gummies and kick back because you aren't going to have any idea what is going on for the first act. The movie also feels more like a sequel to something else in the franchise. I won't get into it here, but at times it feels like this isn't a Captain America story. He's not the main character. His arc isn't what's compelling about the story. If you have watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you may feel like Sam has regressed as you watch his character arc mimic that of the series. In a way, it's WandaVision and Doctor Strange all over again. Now, before I beat this thing up anymore, let's talk about what I liked, because it wasn't all bad. The action sequences in the movie are all pretty solid. Sam has some cool upgrades to show off, and we get a good mix of his signature Falcon offense and new shield moves. The acting was surprisingly good to me as well. Anthony Mackie plays this character well, and I have always enjoyed his portrayal of Falcon in the MCU. I'm not sure he has the gravitas to be a central piece of the new Avengers, but we'll save that discussion for another day. He does well with what he's given, which is a note I share for Giancarlo Esposito. I can't critique his role too much without breaking into spoilers and behind-the-scenes information, so for now, just know that he plays his role well, and I'm interested to see how the character is used going forward. I also would have preferred that they stuck to their original plan for the villains, so this is kind of a wash for me. Harrison Ford put more effort into his role than I expected. He's no William Hurt, but he did well enough in my eyes and hopefully in the studios. They've been unwilling to recast important roles since War Machine, which has led to the discombobulated mess we now have on our hands. Some other roles are well done, but in case you've avoided the movie's cast list, we'll move on for now. The effects were pretty good. I didn't notice anything glaringly bad in the theater. Red Hulk looked good, Sam's fights looked good, and they even made old man Giancarlo look pretty badass. I will also note that there was a choice to go with practical effects for a particular character which has received mixed feedback. I, for one, am for it, and for those against it, I ask only this. Do you want MODOK again? Because that's the alternative here. There are, of course, your usual inconsistencies and retcons, but I'm okay with some of these as they may feed one of the worst Disney Marvel shows to Eliath. While the movie's attempt to revive Winter Soldier vibes failed in my eyes, I will give it this. I was never bored while watching it. Never thought to myself, okay, what's the runtime on this bad boy again? It didn't try to set up a bunch of stuff for the future, mainly because it was tying up loose ends from the past, but it didn't try to do too much, which was a good call. I enjoyed this movie on a discount day at my local theater, and I suggest you do the same, or hey, catch that matinee. I'm somewhere between a 6 and a 7 on this one. It's not the worst time I've had watching a Marvel movie. If you go in with low expectations, you might be pleasantly surprised. I know, what a high bar that's been set. Anyway, if you've seen the film, I'd love to hear your thoughts when James and I review this on the next weekly Dweeb stream, or check out the full spoiler review and leave a comment there. Thanks for watching, Dweebs. Have a wonderful day, and see you next time.